Today on Football Feature, we take a closer look at Florida high school football.
Gerald Cox, now at Miami Booker T, Washington Senior High School. Last year's record was, 13-2?
13-2.
Being around that kind of caliber program is something that I'm used to.
What is a question that you wouldn't want me to ask you?
What do I think about the Miami Central and Miami Northwestern games? playing against your old buddies. Man, I'm looking forward to it, man. To be across, one of the guys in Max that he's for me, man. He don't realize, like, I learned a lot from him, man. Being under his wing for those few years, he taught me how to be a better coach, and not to quit. That has taken my drive to another level, and his defense was the reason why at Coconut Creek, my defense was in the top 10 every year. And then going against my brothers at Central, man, that's like, it's crazy because we all still hang out together. We all talk on the phone. We all text. We all and seeing a lot of those kids, because of my 7-on-7 team that I have, I still have a lot of those kids from both of those teams. They were part of my my organization this past year, so I know a lot of guys, man, on that side of the ball. So it's going to be real exciting to be across from them, man. I'm getting chills now just thinking about it, man, because that's going to be those first 2 weeks of the season, man, are going to be exciting football in South Florida. It's going to be interesting.
What would be the first words out of your mouth to your team?
Let's go get another. It starts this week 1 kickoff classic, whatever it is. Let's keep our mind focused. One team, one heartbeat, one family. So I personally want to be in Daytona hosting up a state championship trophy.
What would you say are the 3 main reasons in taking over as a head coach of any program kind of drives you? What's those driving forces that you would say?
Being able to get kids in school. That's, for me, is main thing. Being able to develop young men into men, and help them see life outside of football.
Okay.
And then lastly, man, just teaching them how to go through adversity and win.
Okay.
And maintaining that mentality throughout your whole entire life, and it goes back to number 2, so those things all tie in together to me. And that's my huge drive, man. I love seeing kids win.
Okay.
I love seeing them be successful. I love seeing them experience life outside of sports.
Gotcha.
And the things that they're able to do because of a conversation that we might have had, because of me just checking on them and saying, "What's up?" You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what it's all about, and being able to, everybody, at one point you want your own program and you want to do some things the way you want to do it and add some things that people did and see if you would be successful with it.
So where does the word competition / being competitive fit into your philosophy of coaching?
Oh, that's everything. That's in everything we do. We gonna compete in the classroom. Like I tell them all the time, sit in the front, sit in front of the classroom, compete with your classmates, compete with each other, as far as school goes. And then when we get in the field, especially all season time, so everything that they do, it just, like I said, it just teaches them how to win. And even if you don't win, what's the lesson in it?
Okay.
And it's still a area of development with it, and I put the cleats back on, and I went at my quarterback. I went at school the first week.
Okay.
We was doing drills. I went out there, I had to show him, and then he beat me by this much. I'm very hands-on when it comes to that. I show them drills, when we out there. So like for me, it's I'm still that guy that I was back in 2008 when I was just coming into coaching.
When it comes to the players, I know you might not know them all right now, but I know you looked at a couple of them. Who would you say are some of the student athletes that you're going to depend on to lead the team in the locker room and on the field?
Oh man, I was around them long enough to figure it out. Hands down, man, Torey Morrison. He's the captain that's going, he leads the ship. He working out, he was in the weight room before everybody. He was getting extra stuff in before we got in the weight room. Anthony Hundley is another one that was right behind him. He was the enforcer, so to speak. If you was late, he was the guy that telling you, hey man, you got push-ups outside. JACOREY Brooks, once everybody saw him in the weight room working, everybody else was following him. And these are all guys that's doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom.
Okay.
For them to have 2.8 GPAs or higher, shows a lot as the top guys, what you're able to do. And then you got a guy, Rance Conner, who's a quiet, he's probably the quiet one out of all of them. Okay. He's another one, got a 3-point-some GPA. So as far as the DB group, he keeps all of them in line. So, it's those guys, right now, those are the main guys up front that, everybody, listens, because those are the guys right now, honestly, the world knows about all of those guys, and everybody else is getting the benefit of those guys, now. So they're Horacio Johnsons and, all of David Campbell, and Kris Fowles. It goes on to a lot of guys that, that do what they're supposed to do, and a lot of guys follow.
But who would you say are some of the younger guys that are biting, nipping at the heels to try to get their turn, see some playing time, but also make a mark on the program?
Well, you got another 20. He's a 2021 kid, Jeremiah Peters. DN, long kid, can fly. He's running. Prior to all this, he was in the 200 meter running. So for a DN to be running in the 200 meters, that shows, he's trying to get faster at least. He's a kid that's kind of he picked up a lot of steam. He's committed to Toledo right now.
Okay.
Then you got guys like Adam Moore, who's he's a 23 kid right now. So he's gonna be the next JACOREY Brooks.
Okay.
Down the road. He's a kid that's picked up every Power 5 that you can name right now. So, so far. So he got a lot of room. I got a lot of work to get him out there some more. So he's gonna blow up. And you got a young running back in Jamari Ford. He came in from Miami Christian. Good sticky foot in the ground, get north and south real quick.
Okay.
Then you got Turo's a slot. He's our nickel guy. As far as DB wise, quick kid. Going to be able to do some things. It's Kris Fowles, is like I mentioned him earlier, but he's going to be a lockdown corner on the other side of Rance. And it's going to be hard for a lot of people to throw, on either of those guys. And then you got another kid that came in from Pace, DeMar Henry, wide receiver wise. So our wide receivers is loaded, man. Steven Augustin, man, they loaded. They loaded, Coach. They're loaded.
Ready.
Yeah, DB wise, man, across the board they can cover. Horacio Johnson, like I mentioned him earlier. Linebacker wise, Kavon Moore, Easton. That plays linebacker, young kid, 23 kid. He's gonna step into a big role. So those guys right now, man, and I probably left out some because we got some guys that's been working, been waiting in the wings.
Gotcha.
Behind some guys. So they're gonna have some fun this year.
It's been your experience
Man, on our end, it hasn't been no issues. Man, we coaching wise, I just been making sure that they develop as coaches during this time. They've been doing a lot of Zoom calls with other coaches around the world. Um, just making sure that every kid knows that I'm there for them.
Okay.
I've reached out to parents. I reached out to the kids, just checking on them. Just doing those things.
Mhm.
But you deal with outside forces that even in the pandemic, they still want to find something negative to
Got
talk about, you know, and we hit a little bout on that. And, you know, like I told them, man, look, I don't respond to all that stuff. I never did. You know, I learned that playing Miramar back the first year when we got into all that and we ended up losing. So ever since then, I don't respond to all of that, and I let our work talk for us. So those guys that's talking about us and saying their 2 cents,
Mhm.
hey man, have fun, do your thing over there. Wish you all the success. See you in the playoffs. That's all I got for you, and that's gonna be my only response. So
Gotcha.
other than that, man, it's been a plus for me though. But you know, because as a man, this gives me an opportunity, man, to do some things with my family that I probably, honestly, if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't be able to do, you
Gotcha.
know. And like I told you, you know, we have a set time that we do family workout day every Monday through Friday,
That's
you know.
good.
So my wife don't play the radio. When it's time to work out, we go to work out. So
Yeah.
we get up, man, and do some things as a family and spend time together
Good.
and get closer with God, man. And that's
Mhm.
for me. It's been real. It's been a pleasure for me, man. And this has been a blessing.
I've been hearing a lot of that when it comes to families and stuff like that, because coaches don't get to spend sometimes the amount of time. Not
Right.
that it's not quality, but just the amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
especially during this, quarantine. So, okay, all right. So I'm gonna switch it up. Let's do one word game. I'm gonna mention something. First thing that pops up to your mind, that's what you say. So, offense.
Speed.
Okay. Defense.
Dominant.
Special teams.
Important.
Booker T fans.
Awesome.
Okay. And then everybody included, administration, coaches, players. What's one word that you want your team and your program to be described by?
Family.
Gotcha.
Family. Forget about me. I love you.
So my name's Aaron Harris, and I am the producer of Football Feature. I'm a black man. I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a Christian. I am a U.S. citizen. To the Floyd family, my prayers go out to you. I am sorry for your loss, and my heart bleeds for you. I had all kinds of things to say. Basically, they were ranting. I don't want to rant. I don't want to add to just a bunch of different opinions. But I can tell you what I'm going to do. I've been part of sports since I was 8 years old, and I think like an athlete. I've been a coach for over 15 years. I think like a coach. And in these times, coaches have worn many hats, and we have had to deal with kids that come from all backgrounds. It didn't matter the color of their skin, because we took everybody on to make them what? Better. And we were able to unify people under what? One goal. I wish that America would be able to unify under one goal. But it seems as though that one goal is different in every single person's eyes. So what are some things that we can do to affect change? Well, for me, I asked that question. I had many conversations. As you can see, I had a conversation with Coach Cox. And I looked at even some of his goals. And his goals were to make sure that his kids got into college. That's helping them with education, making sure that they actually understand the way the world works. To be better men. What does that even mean in this society? How do you, as a black man, become a man? when you sit there and say, hey, I want to help them actually work through adversity. Those are telling words because it's coming. It's a part of life. And if you are a black man in America, that adversity is just walking out your door. So what are some things that we can do? Because as a coach, we don't really dwell on things too long. We don't have time to. We have to now prepare for the next step. We sit there and we practice things that we believe will help us actually achieve our goal week in and week out. And there are some clear fundamentals that we have to make sure that we have. A lot of people have said vote, and I agree with that. Yes, we need to vote for a president. Yes, we need to vote to make sure our senators are there. But the people that really affect us are local. Do you know who your mayor is? Do you know who your attorney general is? Do you know who your police chief is? Do you know who the mayor is? Better yet, do they know you? So with that being said, there are some things that we can do. And one step that I'm going to do that I can take immediately is talk about Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor was killed in her sleep in Kentucky. Her birthday is here, but she isn't. We are able to send a birthday card. And where are you going to send this birthday card? You're going to send this birthday card to the Office of the Attorney General, named Daniel Cameron, 700 Capitol Ave Street, 118 Frankfort, Kentucky, 40601. I personally have written a birthday card to Breonna Taylor, sent to that address, demanding that the officers who killed her are actually brought up on charges. Oh, yes, that's right. The 3 officers, let me get the names for you. It is Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, Detective Brett Hankinson, and Detective Miles Cosgrove. Enter her apartment while she was sleeping with her boyfriend on a no-knock warrant, and she's now dead. Those 3 officers, dressed in plain clothes, unidentified, with weapons, entered into somebody's home, and that person is now dead. Yes, they didn't find anything. There are no drugs, no paraphernalia, nothing. Yet the cops who took a life, no charges. Yes, were there some changes? Yes, there were. By who? Mayor Greg Fisher. He changed the no-knock warrants immediately. He also said, let's make sure that we wear body cams. It's awesome. I'm also going to send him a letter, a birthday card to Breonna Taylor. That will be sent to 527 West Jefferson Street, Unit 600, Louisville, Kentucky, 40212. Again, there needs to be change. Why? Because June 1st, 2 officers in Kentucky with 2 National Guardsmen said they were fired upon, and in firing back, killed a black business owner, David McAtee. The police chief, he was fired. Want to know why? Because those officers did not have a body cam on. So we can make rules. If they're not enforced, what good are they? So we need to make sure that not only do our local government, local officials know what we want, they should know who we are. It's hard to protect somebody that you don't know. So on June 1st, because David McAtee was killed, Police Chief Conrad was fired. Change can happen. Change is also hard. But you need to start somewhere. I myself, I will start right here where I'm at with my local government. It's a shame that we even have to do this. And that it took somebody to be murdered for the nation to see that there was an uprising. But now that there is one, and we have your attention, please do what you can do to affect change for the positive, for all human beings.